This will be Broke Stories Volume 5, and this is a pretty much a story that just came to my mind. It was like I was thinking, who is the brokest person I've ever known or met in my life? Like, my own like family circle, friends of family, stuff like that. And when I think of like the brokest person that I ever really like know what they had to deal with in life, I'd have to say my uncle's brother-in-law. Well, he actually ain't even his brother-in-law. He like his baby mama's brother, right? So the thing is that I call him Bobby, but that's not his name. Okay. Bobby pretty much like my one of my uncles, he was recovering drug addict, but he used to smoke crack, right? So him and Bobby used to smoke crack together. Okay. He also sold crack. So the thing is that Bobby about around the same age as my uncle. If he's still alive, he's in his 60s, early 60s. Now, the thing about Bobby and my uncle's baby mama side of the family, they were kind of like on a lower tier financially. They were pretty much poor. And a lot of them were pretty much in System D, where they was not only just somebody just selling something on the street, they was actually selling drugs and shooting and banging and all of that stuff, right? Just let it go. I'll edit that out. But anyway, basically, Bobby. He was, no exception. He it's kind of hard to overcome a lot of your family's struggles and stripes and stuff like that. Very difficult. A lot of times you gotta separate yourself from your family and never forget that, and then come back and help if you can. But the thing is with Bobby, eventually got off of crack, and he was living with his mother. Okay, as far as I've ever known Bobby always lived with his mother. Okay, now what the hell happened? That my uncle died about two or 3 years ago, and even before that, I don't know what happened to Bobby. I probably haven't heard anything in the last probably 10 years, but the thing is, Bobby, he, like I said, he was struggling a lot. He lived with his mother, and he would work odd jobs. Okay, one of Bobby's jobs was quite interesting, and Bobby. Let me also mention he's never had a license or a car. And only, I think he said he only drove a car 1 or 2 times or something like that in his life. Now, that's not strange in Chicago because, well, it is, but it's stories like that because people, it's a lot of public transportation in Chicago, so you can kind of get away without having a car. A friend of mine that I grew up with, he didn't start. I never seen him drive other than parking his grandfather's car. I didn't see him. He basically didn't start driving until his early 30s. I want to say, yeah, definitely early 30s. Really, after his grandfather died, and then ultimately when he lost his house in foreclosure, that's when I seen him actually buy a car and actually start driving for the first time ever in my life. Now me, I've been driving since I was 14 on my own. Okay, you know, now, my first car I bought when I was 16 for $100. But I'll tell a story about that. But the thing is that Bobby, he never drove a car. Okay, he never had a license. None of that, right? And Bobby had a job working at a garbage treatment plant, basically, not too far from where I grew up, in the south side, south suburbs of Chicago. So keep in mind, the reason why I'm talking about the car is the reason why I'm talking about this. Going to the suburbs and from Chicago to the suburbs is an issue. It's not transportation everywhere in Chicago. Not in Chicago, but in the suburbs. So Bobby worked along this garbage treatment facility near near the highway, basically. So Bobby would depend on others for transportation usually to get to his job. And let me also mention he recovered from smoking crack and then picked up another habit which is actually worse, which is called gambling. Okay. I'll just put that out there. I've had some issues gambling. I've done very good in that regard. I'll talk about that. Definitely will not leave that out. Very important. But the thing is Bobby and also my uncle that's no longer here, they used to gamble a lot, basically primarily horses, thoroughbred horses, but it's called off-track betting, basically. Now, my father also used to do that quite a bit too. Now, the thing is that when it comes to Bobby, like I say, he would get broke, no money, he'll fall out with people as well. Bobby used to have to walk along the expressway to his garbage treatment facility job. Now, for reference, Bobby lived, I'll just to not throw all of his business out there. I mean, people that know me personally already know who I'm talking about, but people that, just to have a little anonymous type of, thing out there. Bobby lived on, I'll just say he lived off of 70th Street, okay? And the garbage treatment facility was off 142nd Street. Now you do the math, you just basically, I'll give you the equation. You take 2nd, right? 142, and then you minus that by 70, and then you have to divide it by 8, which is a mile. And you can figure out how many miles he had to walk along, and then along the expressway. And then I'll just add, it doesn't stop there. He didn't live close to the expressway on 70th Street. From where he lived to the expressway was at least, I want to say, no less than 6 to 8 miles. Okay. Now, one thing I have to say, this is it's a funny story. I can't, I'm laughing, but Bobby, one thing about you got to understand, the man has a very strong will. You have to be very strong-willed to overcome to the point where you got to walk. I mean, you just got to imagine about 20 miles to your job, and then also walk along the expressway. I mean, if you seeing somebody walk the expressway, they are really going through it. Now, I mean, people go through it, man, and then also, whole mental illness thing and stuff like that, man. I'm sure you've seen videos where you've seen a chick riding a divvy bike on the expressway, or a bike on the expressway in Chicago. I mean, that's stuff like that happens all over, right? But yes, man, I mean, when people don't care about you, it goes there. People don't understand how to deal with things and stuff like that. It can easily happen. You learn how to deal with people that don't care about you and be ruthless about it very quickly. And some people have a lot of learning to do and have to be reminded of that, unfortunately. But yeah, Bobby had to walk along the expressway, I want to say at least 15 to 20 miles to his job. And he had to do that every time he couldn't get a ride, which would be quite often. So, the interesting story that I remember about what Bobby said was that he had to leave the job. Everybody that worked at the job had to leave the job one day because, like I said, he works at a garbage treatment facility. So, one day it was a baby that was found, a dead baby that was found in the trash. They all had to basically leave the facility. Police was called to investigate. They all had to leave work early that day. And I mean, yeah, it actually happened. And yeah, I mean, Bobby. Couple things I learned from Bobby, definitely, that will, man, that will to walk that long. In many cases, I had to do stuff like that. I never walked along the expressway. Fortunately, I've never. But it's parts of let's say, like if that happened to me, if I had to work at a garbage treatment facility, like that or whatever. Because it's not really accessible to, there's no bridge or nothing like that to get over there on that side where the garbage treatment facility is. So, what would I have done in that situation? I don't know, man. I probably tried to do the best I could, but I mean, a lot of times you just kind of like have to pass on opportunities because it don't work. But the thing is, Bobby, that didn't cross his mind. Bobby, one thing about Bobby will keep his jobs for years, decades. Another thing I learned from Bobby is that if you want to really have a successful restaurant, I mean, and knock it out the park, and you want to be a millionaire restaurateur in Chicago, you might want to open up a barbecue joint, okay? You might want to open up a barbecue joint because if you got a really good barbecue joint, people come here from other parts of the world, parts of the country, and one of the things they come here for is barbecue, believe it or not. There's a lot of people from the South that moved up here and from here, and they brought a lot of the recipes for how to cook barbecue. And, Bobby worked at a barbecue joint. They paid him cash. I'd have to say, Bobby he worked, the amount of hours he worked, 60, 80, man, like 60 hours a week, 70 hours or whatever, man, he would make so much money in cash, but he would put so much of his time in that, man, he would have like $800, $900 cash. Sometimes he'd get a bonus because he's working so damn hard. But you would think like, damn, why does he work so hard and why does he do that? Well, you gotta think, what is he going home to? He's going home to his mom's house, and all of the whatever negative stuff that he has to deal with or whatever. He was trying to use work to escape and then trying to make money. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he couldn't overcome a lot of things, right? You know, but yeah, man, Bobby is probably one of the brokest dudes I've ever met in my life, man. Another thing, I think Bobby used to get a Social Security check. Okay, you know, that's all I know as far as I know. But yeah, man. I mean, shit. I really can't really think of nobody that I know their personal details and stuff like that as the brokest person that I can think of. And Bobby definitely comes to mind, you know. So this is Broke Stories Volume 5, and you know, definitely I wanna hear any of your broke stories. If you're, you know, not a plastic person, and you know, you got any broke stories in the comment sections. You know, it's definitely a lot of broke stories out here because it's a whole bunch of broke people. It's the whole country pretty much is broke. So I know for a fact that you have some broke stories. So I mean, you can't tell me. I mean, I know the level of cap on the internet is so hard that everybody, you know, acts like as if they're well off or well to do. But I'll tell you, I mean, ain't nothing but what's the most expensive cap in the world? What, a Gucci cap? I mean, you know, a lot of you guys, man, just might as well just go buy a Gucci cap because you're capping so hard. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely know. So, anyways, you know, definitely like, share, subscribe, comment your broke story, your broke moment. And then if you overcame your brokenness, you know, explain your situation. Explain how you overcame your brokenness. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm definitely trying to overcome as we speak. You know, this is, you know, definitely going to be some more videos to come. Would love to hear what your stories are.